Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. And I wish I was working in the office today, so I wasn't able to get up to Cheyenne, but I wish I was in rough and rugged Wyoming today, my other home and the one I spend more time in, because something really incredible has happened. So last year, we had a long conversation with many different stakeholders from across the United States and abroad about increasing the accessibility of stem cells and stem cell related products in the United States. As many of you know, there's an amazing renaissance that's happening right now with autologous and allogenic stem cells, where we're using them to, in China, for example, they've cured type 1 diabetes in certain patients. They've done amazing things, treatment of HIV, amazing regenerative capabilities to restore joints, to restore nerves, heal the heart, heal the kidneys. It's an absolutely incredible thing. And so we brought a lot of people together at the Hoskinson Policy Office under the great leadership of Karen Wheeler and the people working with her. And we started a conversation about how do we get a state in the United States to open the doors, very similar to how a state opened the doors years ago for the cryptocurrency industry, and build a stem cell industry in that state. So then a lot of people came together and saw that this is something that could truly benefit and enhance the world of stem cells and really build up the state. And so Senator Barlow brought forth to the Wyoming Senate this idea of SF48, the Stem Cell Freedom Act. And then it was co-sponsored by Senator Brennan Hutchins and Representatives Clouston and Haroldson. And we all worked together to talk around how to build a piece of legislation like this. And I am very pleased to announce that it has passed unanimously, and the governor signed it today. So it is the law of the land in the state of Wyoming. I'm super proud of everybody who worked on this and all the hard things that came to bear. And I just wanted to show you guys the bill real quickly because this is an example of a rare bit of bipartisanship and unanimity across the state and a country that at times can be very fragmented and very polarized. So you can get these things done when you're doing it for the right people. So this is the 68th State of Wyoming legislature. And as I said, SF48, the Stem Cell Freedom Act. And these are all the sponsors and co-sponsors. They did an enormous amount of work, especially Senator Barlow and Representative Haroldson. It was a very heavy lift. It went from, what is this? What are they doing? To, hey, actually, this is really cool. And if you take a look at the status here, passed 59-0, 3 absences, and it passed the Senate 31-0. So this was a unanimous piece of legislation, Democrats and Republicans together. Real proud of that. So let me just read it out here. The Stem Cell Freedom Act is an act related to the public health and safety, authorizing physicians to recommend and perform stem cell therapy on patients as specified, allowing healthcare insurers to cover stem cell therapies as specified, prohibiting the State Board of Medicine from taking action against the physician's license due to the use or promotion of stem cell therapy, prohibiting the state of Wyoming from denying patients access to the stem cell therapy, provided that no cause for action is created against a person properly performing stem cell therapy, requiring compliance as specified, and amending the powers of Wyoming State Board of Medicine, providing definitions and providing for effective date. So basically what this does is said that if you are in an IRB or you've already passed a phase 1 of a clinical trial, which means you have that safety signal, you can take your stem cells and a physician can administer them. And it creates a whole framework inside the state to do that. And most importantly, it protects the physician from an over litigious state medical board. Because the problem is in medicine, when you do things, you can have good outcomes, but if it's an effective treatment, you also have a chance of a bad outcome. You can't have a situation that for every 100 procedures, when they have the one bad procedure, someone from the board can come in and say, well, it wasn't FDA approved, I'm taking your license away. No doctor is going to ever embrace that. There's no incentive for them to get there. So if you want to create an industry and bring people to state, you have to say, okay, what is the threshold of safety? And taking autologous stem cells, your stem cells, which you already make in your body, phase 1 clinical trial is fairly sufficient for that. And having a physician with disclosure and putting the patient in that loop and having them have that right to try, it's an important thing to do. And we're real proud that the state of Wyoming woke up and realized that there's this huge industry that currently is in the Caribbean, it's in Central America, and it's being done at many times by people who aren't even physicians with God knows what, and they're not making those stem cells in CGMP labs. And we have all these people, whether they be MMA fighters, they be heroes like special operations community, firefighters, police officers, they be celebrities like Mel Gibson, for example. He smoked for 40 years. He got terrible emphysema. He went to Raritan's clinic, and they get stem cells to get treated. So what this does is it brings all that offshore business into the state of Wyoming, and it allows people to use their stem cells to actually heal themselves. That's a novel concept. As long as they consent, they're informed of the potential risks, and a doctor's involved in that process. So the state of Wyoming, just like it did years ago when it took a chance on crypto and that worked out for it, is now taking a chance on this emerging regenerative medicine world. And this is just the beginning of a whole family of initiatives and endeavors. And it's something a lot of people work for a long time on. And it's really an exciting thing that was bipartisan. Now, everybody came together, they were unified. It took a lot of work. Our policy office had to talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people came, especially Dr. Harmon from California, who's been in this market for more than 30 years, and he's one of the world's foremost experts. He flew out to Gillette and sat down with various senators and various lawmakers and talked around the pros and cons and what worked well and what hasn't worked well and how this industry has grown and evolved. A lot of physicians had tons of questions, and they all got involved. They all talked to each other. And actually, Senator Barlow is a doctor himself. He's a doctor of veterinary medicine. So it was really nice that we were able to have those types of dialogues and conversations. But ultimately, it was a collective leadership effort for many amazing people working real hard for a long time to bring to patients the right to try stem cells in the state of Wyoming. So they don't have to leave the United States, go to Mexico, go to Costa Rica, go to Panama, inject God knows what from God knows who. They have to go to Wyoming. They get to use their own stem cells, and they get to use doctors who are qualified, capable, and licensed in the United States of America. So it's a major step forward, and we're real excited to see where this goes. We're real excited to see how this ecosystem evolves and matures. For our part at Hoskinson Health, our clinic is always expanding, and we're building a CGMP lab, and we're real excited to work with the broader American Stem Cell Network to continue to do research, clinical trials, and also now use the Stem Cell Freedom Act to be able to offer this and explore with patients. Already we have a pulmonologist coming on board, and we're taking a look at our patient panels, and we'd love to see if the Mel Gibson experience can be expanded and people who are oxygen dependent, get them off oxygen. We're also extremely excited to see where stem cells can be used in the orthopedic context, as well as in the anti-aging context and anti-inflammation. We also have a device that we're currently working on with the University of Wyoming to make it much easier to harvest stem cells. We're trying to figure out how to get adipose-derived stem cells, so the stem cells from your fat, and get them into a device to make it uniform. You don't have to go through liposuction to remove them and culture expand them in a much more standardized and cost-effective way. Every part of this train, we're trying to make it cheaper, faster, and safer to be able to extract a stem cell, the culture expand a stem cell, and then put it as part of the healing process for patients. So long-term that this can be used to help people along. It's a big passion of mine. It's a big passion of my family. For those of you who know me, my family's been in medicine now for 70 years. My grandfather started in, I think, the 50s as an OBGYN. And my father is a doctor. My uncle's a doctor. My brother's a doctor. This is part of our family's legacy. And actually today, our clinic, Hoskinson Health, up in Gillette, Wyoming, celebrated its 20,000th patient. So we have more than, I think, 2/3 of the population of Gillette as patients of Hoskinson Health. So we're real proud to watch this program grow, expand, and evolve. And we're real proud that now the state of Wyoming's opened up. Politics is a brutal business, and there's disagreements. Many of you know that the governor and I in Wyoming have had some struggles in time about the Wyoming Stablecoin Act. And obviously that didn't work out so well. But he signed the bill today, and that shows maturity and that shows leadership. And he's as one of the parting gifts as he leaves office in 2026, has now created an entirely new industry in the state of Wyoming. And it's now the best in class for the entire United States of America. And it's going to bring all this stuff that's being offshored right now, whether it be Thailand or Mexico or Costa Rica, they can now come to Wyoming and get things done. And Wyoming is going to be the place long term that I believe is going to cure a lot of diseases that were considered to be uncurable. It's going to solve a lot of problems that people have had as chronic ailments, and they were told by everybody in medicine they're just going to have to manage it and live with it for the rest of their lives. And it's going to be revolutionary in reducing the cost of care for everyone everywhere. And I'm very proud that a state of ranchers could bring this to the United States of America and revolutionize things. And I'd like to thank everybody from the governor to all the lawmakers in the state of Wyoming for showing phenomenal leadership and foresight. This is the beginning. There's many more things to do. And there's going to be much more legislation, just like with the cryptocurrency industry. It started with a single bill, and now there's more than 30. And you can see with Kraken getting a master account with the Federal Reserve, how far we've come as an industry. And the Wyoming miracle is influencing where the federal government is going. So I love the fact that Wyoming gets to lead the nation yet again. And the Wyoming miracle gets to lead the nation yet again. And this is going to revolutionize and transform the stem cell industry and more broadly, the regenerative medicine industry, as people consider about how we move from treatments to cures. How do you, when you go to the doctor, instead of them giving you something for the rest of your life that you have to take, they actually fix the problem and it's solved. We owe it to all the people who got injured in war. We owe it to all the people that have given so much, and now they're all worn down and they need some help. And we owe it to everybody who's recovering from bad things, whether it be an injury or cancer, and now they have peripheral neuropathies or what have you. They need some help. And it's not a small amount of people. It's millions and millions and millions of Americans. And a lot of people in Wyoming recognize it's a shame when an American has to leave America to try to get some help. That doesn't make any sense for the richest nation in the world that supposedly has the best healthcare in the world. Well, they may not be able to do it in California or New York, but guess what? They can get it treated in America, in Wyoming. So I'd like to thank everybody there, especially the policy office and Karen Wheeler's amazing leadership. She worked overtime on this. This was a long haul, and we're all just real proud of that. And it showed maybe, just maybe, we can be bipartisan and get things done. The fact that it passed unanimously is a pretty special thing. I generally speaking don't see things like that too often in life, and that's okay. We're going to take the wins where we can have them, and I'm also real excited that Governor signed it today, and the state of Wyoming's open for business. So I believe it'll take effect in July. Lot to do, and as I said, on our end, we're building a CGMP facility. And we're bringing a lot of domain experts. Wyoming's also going to get a big brain upgrade. I fully anticipate there's going to be a lot of funding increases in the University of Wyoming because now it's the best place in the world, at least in the United States, to run a stem cell clinical trial because of this law. And on our part, as I said, we're going to continue to do research, and we're certainly going to push things forward. And we're already taking a look at all the amazing things done abroad. Some countries are ahead of us, especially China in certain respects, and that really bothers me as an American. We invented this industry, and this is an industry we should be thriving and dominating in. So I want to make sure a lot of that innovation abroad comes back home, and we're able to use it to get Americans back where they need to be. So today is a phenomenal day. It was a wonderful day to end Friday. I was real excited about it, and I can't wait to head up to Wyoming tonight. And I'm sorry I missed the signing. Unfortunately, I was stuck down here in Colorado. And that's the problem with having a split life. But maybe one of these days I can fully move on up there. In any event, thank you so much, Rough and Rugged Wyoming. You've yet again proven that you're not just the first in nation, but best in nation. And it's a good day for everybody that needs a little bit of help. It's going to take a bit more time to get there, but the cavalry's coming. Good night and God bless.